Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we started investigating the strange happenings that took place in the Kew Gardens, in the Botanic Gardens of London. There was the director recently died, and it does not look like he died from a heart attack like his son says. It definitely looks like there was a strange thing that went on, but we are going to have to find out by doing an autopsy on his body. Conveniently, I already called with my mobile phone, and they prepared the body down there in the autopsy room. It is a joke. Sorry, a yoke. Perform autopsy.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Did that a couple of hours ago. That's why it's ready already. Wait, that's not the room. What's that?
This watch is of great value.
Mr.
A
Montague
membership
Dunn.
card for the London Crest Club. A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
To Mr. F. Wayne, director of Wayne & Sons Printing Company. My friend, your posters for the great exhibition at Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montague Dunn. Huh. He was quite a douche. Alright, let's see this. Can we do this, though?
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
There's your
an
head
injury to
wound.
the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
Ew.
There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination, so that we can proceed with the autopsy. Nothing suspicious here. No redness, stings, or bruises. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
Holmes just stands there. What? Are you serious? What did you do with the ribcage? What did you do with it? Where is it? What the F, dude? Wow, okay.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
I do not know what edematous
The
means.
tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Bah.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
I hope he put some gloves on.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Yum.
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
It was
Murder
not
of any
perfect.
kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
It's not about flowers anymore. Poisoning, Dunn was trapped. Find Montague Dunn's killer. Dunn was poisoned. After being trapped in the Colonial Collection Room by the killer, Montague Dunn was affected by inhaling a virulent vegetal poison. Okay. What's back there? Huh. Strange, I don't remember that part, although it was always there, right? Yeah, it's just where that table is. Should we ask Lestrade?
Locked.
What? Can you... This guy, sometimes he does not want to walk. Alright, let's go back to the gardens. I hope Miss White is there now. I would assume so. Unfortunately, my tea's too hot to drink, so this is gonna have to take a while right here. Do we have any evidence that we wish to talk about? Yes, the broken pot. Search archives. And search archives. Okay. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff. Still not there. I really dislike going to these botanical gardens. Also, that is definitely the game with the loading times, because I've got an SSD in my computer. So there is no way that that should take so long. Whoa.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the Colonial Collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and...
And...
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
He actually seems kind of nice. I thought because of his cheap ware he'd have the motive of killing that guy to get into a better paid position out of money gain, but Albert does not seem to be happy with his father at all. And I wouldn't be either in his position.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Let me drink in peace. Talk,
I
dude.
imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Alright, I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
have to
young
pick
man.
that
We
lock.
shall see you again soon.
Meet Miss White. I intend to do that right now. So I cannot go in there. Cloakroom, first time I heard that. Let's go into the nursery first, though. And the seed area, the seed room should be right behind this. Bump, bump, pshoo. Nice noise.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Cool.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year.
Nice.
A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
So he's actually a good botanist.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Alright, that's all. Ooh. Hey yo.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn. I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Huh. Someone smashed that up good.
Seeds of plant species are stored here.
Oh, where's Miss White? She should be around here. Because this is the seeds room. Bloop. Oh, never mind. This is actually the
Open.
seed house. Open. That is Miss Margaret White, but she's not gonna you know, worry about me walking around looking at everything. Even though there's not much to look at. Basically nothing. Okay. Okay. Cool window. Hey, don't look at my stuff!
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants. Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. This place serves as Albert's office.
Miss White. You know, I could talk to you, but look at all this shit on the desk. Look at all this. Why don't I examine all that? Never mind. Hello, Miss Dunn.
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir, and good day to you too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
I am indeed. Let's look at you, lady. You are quite beautiful. You've got a brooch. Alright. Nothing to say about that. Expensive perfume. Well, I wonder why I couldn't see that from the get-go. Nice belt. What happened? Pink marks. Past Mulpalagra. Poor family. We have the situation again where there's only a pixel. Is it really, it's not that belt? Oh, come on. There's bound to be something else. Unmarried. Ah.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, man. You don't talk at all.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Really, really, lady. Okay. Gonna be with you in a second. I told you my throat hurts. I need a drink.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Meet Miss White completed. Someone is lying. Let's look at this. We have the keys, find use. We have those, and we have the bus to talk about, but not to Margaret White. Right. Margaret Wright. Let's talk to Hamish about the bust, and then we'll go back to look through the archives. Nice arches. I do like flowers. I do like this area in general. I wish I was in a real botanic garden instead of this, but you know, can't always be that way. Alright, before I continue my investigation of this murder case, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.